I told you guys the rematch is coming, and now that I have all the details, I get to spread the good news as to the next challenge. And no, YouTube order, you can't join the event because you can go fuck yourself. Anyways, for those who visited the forums, probably already saw the thread with all the details, but I have a date, time, rules, and the only thing that I need are teams to set up and people to watch me play on Twitch. So let me give you a rundown of the details of the event, how to sign up, and all that other good shit. The date is going to be Saturday, March 28th, and I believe I suggested that in the Hipfire commentary video last week. The event is going to start at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and most likely end about 4 hours later or so. Now, much like all my events and all that other shit, it's up to you to figure out what time that is in your time zone. Google Eastern Standard Time Zone or whatever the fuck you need to do, but 2 p.m. is going to be the starting time. The teams are pretty straightforward, although I do have a sign up once again. The Prestige Gamerz team will be made up of all those who are online at the time and are on the forums, and probably a crew of about 10 guys or so that can fill out the slots between Hatred, Smelly, Lethal, Daza, Bite Crazy, Visual Face, Badger, Death by Numbers, whatever. It's the guys that have always played the Crotus raid before and shit like that. Now, the YouTube sign up is a little bit different. Regardless of when they sign up or if they're online, the 5 members who ran the raid the last time have a guaranteed spot. Guaranteed. That means if Brown, Richard, Sky, Haymaker, or Sanwan, Richard, they've already signed up with that motherfucker, so they're ready to roll on that challenge. If any of those 5 want to do it again, they will get preference. They were part of the original team, and they will get their chance in the rematch. Now, if for some reason any one of them can't make it, then we'll go to the people who signed up for the group. And the alternates for the YouTube team are pretty much open to everyone. So even if you're not on my list, you can certainly sign up to at least be part of the alternate team in case the original 5 don't make it to that. So I want to be very clear. You can sign up, you can elect to be part of the YouTube team, but the original members will get preference regardless of whether or not they sign up or if they're online and shit like that. And it all depends if they're awake at that time or they got something else better to do. Now, as for reward for the winner, I was debating about doing what to do this time. Last time I gave the winners a chance at a Hipfire commentary video with pretty much no restrictions. Then, of course, someone sent in fucking Minecraft and now we have to ban that shit all over. This time around, I want to do something different, and I was debating about either reverse Hipfire commentaries or crossfire commentary concept as a reward. You know, with the reverse Hipfire commentary, I would provide my gameplay to people in order to do a commentary, and they get to make an ass out of themselves trying to do a commentary with no clue as to what's coming. The other idea is a crossfire commentary, where the 5 people all submit a video, and then I redistribute those back out to each other in order to do a commentary on their videos. Essentially, I'm avoiding doing these 5 fucking commentaries. Come on, man, it's a fucking brilliant idea. In any event, I don't know what option I want to do, so I will leave that up to you guys as to what you want to see. Do you want to see 5 reverse Hipfire commentary videos, or would you rather see the crossfire commentary series of them submitting videos to each other and having to do the commentary? You guys let me know, and that will be the reward for the winning team. Now, as for the rules themselves, there are a few things to note that the teams have already been informed of on the website. I have some things that I like from the first raid that I'm going to continue, and other things that I want to change this time around, but the big change is that the YouTube team is going to go first. One of the advantages in a challenge like this is that if you go second, you have home field advantage. You can see what the first team did and how they did it, and you'll be able to improve on their performance in case they made any errors. And that's exactly what the YouTube team did when they got to go second. They improved on all the mistakes Prestige Gamerz made. This time around, things are going to be different. The YouTube team will now be on the hot seat going first, and Prestige Gamerz will get the home field advantage. The YouTube team will start at 2 p.m., and depending on what time we finish or who's online or whatever the fuck it is, I can either start up the Prestige Gamerz team right away, or we'll just wait to 4 p.m. to get the ball rolling with the second team. Now, if you learn how to count to 5, then you notice I'm giving the YouTube team a 2-hour window to complete both raids. And that's very important because both teams will have a 2-hour maximum to complete these raids. Now, part of that is for the challenge. Part of that is to make sure that the Prestige Gamerz team has a time frame of when they'll start this motherfucker. And considering both teams ran the last challenge in under 90 minutes, this should be more than enough time to complete speed runs for the motherfucker. However, I do have a few tweaks to the rules that could prevent the team in finishing in under 2 hours. The main change this time is that Crota will have to be done on hard mode. Last time we did it on normal. This time, both raids will be done on hard, because let's just be honest for a second, normal mode right now is way too fucking easy. Now, in addition to the bumped up difficulty, there's going to be a couple of rule tweaks for each one of the raids, similar to what I did last time. For the Vault of Glass, the same rules will apply for the oracles. We're going to need to fight them on the ground. No cheesing and doing oracles from the top of the map. Now you have to fight them from the floor the entire time, all 7 waves. In addition, this run, we will have to stop the Templar from teleporting. There is no getting around that. In the last challenge, I said you only needed to make an effort. Now, you need to absolutely stop him from teleporting. If he teleports, that means the team will have to take a wipe, no questions asked. Both teams must stop Templar from teleporting, otherwise both teams will have to wipe out. After stopping Templar, teams must grab the chest that you get as a reward for preventing that motherfucker from teleporting, and then it's on to Atheon. For Atheon, there will be no Galahorns, or I know the name is Galahorn or whatever the fuck. I like the sound of Galahorn. People say Galahorn, so I'm gonna call that motherfucker Galahorn, right? Now with the Galahorn, Atheon's way too fucking easy. There's no way around that. So to cut down on that, no Galahorns will be allowed against Atheon himself. People can use Galahorn all the way up to him, including the gatekeepers, the portals, the minotaurs, and all that shit. But once you start having to do damage to Atheon, no Galahorns will be allowed. Every other gun is allowed, but the Galahorn is banned as part of that fight. So as soon as the Atheon fight is over, then it will be Crota, and much like last time, the rules will be very similar. All 6 people need to make it across the Gatekeeper Bridge. Right now, teams are getting 2 or 3 people over, wiping, having Warlock self-revive, but this time, I want all 6 people over. Now, here's the key to this. If someone makes it over to the Ogre Wizard side of the bridge, then you can pretty much die. But if you die on the original side of the bridge, that's pretty much going to be a team wipe. Since you need to get all 6 over the bridge, unless someone's a Warlock and they're able to self-revive, if anyone dies on the original side of the bridge, that pretty much means it's going to be a team wipe. So much like the Vault of Glass with Templar, there is a section in which you might have a mandatory wipe in the Crota raid. As like last time, you'll also need to kill everything after the Death Singer's dead, so no wiping there. And the final part of the raid is where I'm going to be a sick and evil son of a bitch. I have a restriction on Crota in the same way I have a restriction on Atheon. However, I will not be revealing what that restriction is until the day of or the day before the event. Now, some of the guys have been speculating as to what exactly I'm up to, but I can assure you it is not a gun restriction in the same way you can't use a Galahorn on Atheon. You can certainly use the Galahorn on Crota. There is no restriction on that. You can bring any gun, any armor you want, but this will be a shit-inducing restriction and a big reason why I have the 2-hour time limit. I'm telling you right now, this restriction is going to be a big pain in the fucking ass, and I'm going to have fun revealing what that restriction is. Oh man, you guys are going to be so pissed off. But for now, the teams are aware there is going to be a unique restriction or requirement for that portion of the fight. Now, let's just say, for example, both teams are not able to beat Crota with my new restriction, and the 2-hour time limit passes on both teams. The winning team will be determined by their Vault of Glass timed run. So I do have a tiebreaker in place in case shit hits the fan. Now, I don't think either team's going to need the tiebreaker, but I will guarantee you there's going to be a little bit of struggle, a little bit of adjustment once my restriction comes into play. But in any event, I will have that tiebreaker in place because that's how I roll. I also have a couple of other smaller tidbits to add to the challenge. If either team were to complete the raid flawlessly, either raid, they will have 5 minutes knocked off of their time for that raid being completed. So let's say a team beats the Vault of Glass flawlessly in 35 minutes. That means the official time would be dropped down to 30 minutes. Let's say a team does both raids flawlessly. That would be a 10-minute time limit bonus. But let's just be honest here, that's not happening. There's no way in hell a team's going to make it through Crota on hard without dying. It's impossible. Normal maybe, but no way in hell on hard. Now, another small rule that I have in place will be the makeup of the teams themselves. Each team will have to take 2 of each of the classes. So that means there's going to be 2 Titans, 2 Hunters, and 2 Warlocks. We can resolve who takes what in the tower and all that other bullshit, but the one class I can't take will be the Titan. Since the Titan bubble is essential to completing each part of the raid, specifically Templar and Crota, I can't be taking that role. And the main reason for that is the final restriction that I will have on myself. I can't communicate. For the duration of both raids with both teams, I will not be able to communicate with either team. They will have to work out their strategies on their own without me. That way, neither team can say that I shared info like last time when I gave YouTube team the hookup with Hatred strategy. I basically said, if Hatred ain't here, we can do whatever the fuck we want. In any event, this time around, the teams are on their own to communicate without me. The 5 members will create a party chat through PlayStation while I will remain in the Twitch stream without them talking to all the viewers. So for the viewers, this will be fantastic because I can communicate with you guys directly. For the team, that means you're going to have one player who can't follow instructions. So this is the big reason why I will not be the bubble thrower in either raid, why I can't take the relic, can't take the sword, and pretty much have to be treated like a random. Now, I wrote out the details of what I can and can't do, especially since I can't talk to motherfuckers, but basically, I'm an extra gun in the room. That's really it. The strategy that I will stick to the entire time is that I will always go right. In any part of the raid in which we need to split up, I will go to the right-hand side, opening the vault, defending the confluxes, guarding the right side portal, guarding the right side annihilator totem, right-hand side against the Death Singer, right door when leaving Crota. Everything I do is going to the right. Now, I expect the Vault of Glass to go smoothly, pretty much like we had last time. I expect the bridge to give some people trouble in the Crota part, and I definitely expect my Crota restriction to throw people for a loop when they actually get there. But overall, I think both teams should have absolutely no issue getting through this in the 2-hour time limit. If the last game was any indication, Vault of Glass should be done in about 35 minutes or so, and that leaves almost an hour and a half for Crota, which is more than enough time to adjust. My guess is both teams are going to get to Crota himself with probably about an hour left on the timer or more to make it to the final 2-hour time limit. But in any event, the date is set for March 28th. The teams will be set in the upcoming weeks, and like I said, the people on the YouTube team have a guaranteed spot if they want to join again. My restrictions are in place with the exception of Crota, and I will reveal that probably the day of or the day before the event. And I will be leaving Destiny behind on that following Tuesday after the event so I can play other shit because my baseball game's coming out. So as always, rate, comment, subscribe, and all that good shit. And I'll see you guys in the YouTube Prestige Gamerz rematch speedrun challenge on both of Destiny's raids.